already. So he's off the Mufasa. He off the. I can't use him for the fantasy no more because my friend is off. So it's done. I gotta find somebody else. Gotta go back to Lenny Kravitz. Looks like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron, Pierre, Teyana. Aaron, Pierre, that's Teyana.
It all started on what was supposed to be just another fun, casual night. Teyana Taylor had gone live on Instagram, doing what she always does best, connecting with her fans in a way that feels raw, real, and effortless. She was laughing, answering questions, vibing to music, radiating the same energy that has made her loved for years. To anyone scrolling through their feed, it looked like nothing more than another lighthearted moment in Teyana's world. But behind the smiles, something was brewing. And before the night was over, everything would shift. Because while Teyana was live, her partner, Aaron Pierre, was making a move of his own. And it wasn't a sweet surprise. It wasn't a supportive shout-out. It wasn't a gesture of love. It was an unfollow. A cold, deliberate unfollow. Right in the middle of her IG live. And it didn't take long before the entire internet knew. The way it unfolded almost didn't feel real. Fans who were tuned into the live started noticing something strange. In the comments, little whispers began to pop up. Wait, did Aaron just unfollow her? At first, it sounded like trolling. People are always looking for drama, always ready to stir the pot. But then the screenshots came in. Receipts. Fans started posting side-by-side captures showing Aaron's following list just minutes before, compared to that very moment. And sure enough, Teyana's name was gone. The chat on her live exploded. What was once filled with heart emojis, song requests, and playful messages instantly turned into chaos. Thousands of comments, all spamming the same thing. Aaron just unfollowed you. Girl, check your man. It's over. Some fans begged her to look at the comments, others debated whether it was real or not. But no matter which way you looked, the energy had shifted completely. And here's the thing, Teyana noticed. You could see it in her eyes. For just a split second, she paused. Her smile faltered, her laughter died down, and she looked distracted. She tried to keep going, tried to push through, but the weight of what was happening was impossible to ignore. Imagine being in front of thousands of fans, performing happiness, while realizing in real time that your partner has just made a statement to the world. A statement that might mean the end of everything. That single unfollow wasn't just a click. It was a message. It was Aaron saying, without words, "This is done." And the timing couldn't have been more brutal. To do it during her live, with the world watching, was like twisting the knife in public. As soon as the live ended, the internet caught fire. Twitter blew up within minutes. Hashtags started trending. Hashtag it's over now. Hashtag Aaron unfollows Teyana. And even hashtag girl move on. Memes poured in, some mocking the situation, some expressing heartbreak on Teyana's behalf. TikTokers recreated the moment, pretending to be on live and then pretending to realize their partner had just unfollowed them. It became not just news, it became culture. Some fans were furious at Aaron. They called it childish, disrespectful, unnecessary. They said no matter what was happening behind the scenes, there was no reason to humiliate Teyana like that. Others defended him, arguing that unfollowing someone is simply setting boundaries, that maybe he was tired of being in her shadow, tired of the constant public drama. But no matter which side you were on, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a private breakup anymore. This was a spectacle. And Teyana? She didn't release a statement. She didn't go on live to explain herself or confirm anything. But she didn't have to. Instead, she spoke the way she often does through cryptic posts. On her Instagram stories, she shared quotes about peace, about letting go, about not forcing someone to stay. To her fans, those words said everything. They weren't just random posts. They were her way of admitting what everyone already knew. It was over. The heartbreak was written between the lines. For years, people have watched Teyana give her heart openly, sometimes to men who didn't protect it the way they should have. They've seen her try, fall, pick herself up, and try again. And so this unfollow wasn't just about Aaron. It was about all the love stories that ended before their time, all the moments she gave and didn't get back. Her fans weren't just angry at Erin. They were protective of her. They wanted her to be loved the way she deserves, not discarded with a click of a button. Meanwhile, Erin stayed silent. No tweets, no captions, no clarifications. But silence doesn't erase actions, and fans noticed everything. They noticed when his Instagram bio suddenly changed, removing subtle references to love. They noticed the shady posts he liked, posts that seemed to hint at freedom, at moving on, and not being tied down. And every detail was dissected, every move turned into evidence. Was he trying to send another message? Was he doubling down on the unfollow? Or was this just his way of retreating from the spotlight? The fan divide deepened. One camp saw Erin as cold and heartless, a man who couldn't even respect the woman who stood by him. The other camp saw him as someone finally taking control, finally stepping out of a dynamic they believed wasn't healthy. And in the middle of all this noise, Teyana and Erin's private lives became everyone's entertainment. But here's the bigger question. Why does an unfollow matter so much? Why does a single click send such shockwaves? It's because in today's world, the unfollow has become symbolic. It's not just about removing someone from your feed. It's a declaration. It's a way of saying, I no longer want to be connected to you publicly. And when you do that in the middle of your partner's live, it's no longer just a personal choice. It's a performance. That's why this story hit so hard. Because it wasn't just about Teyana losing a follower. It was about Teyana losing the image of a relationship she was still holding on to. It was about Erin choosing to end things not in private, but in front of thousands of witnesses. It was about how modern love collapses not behind closed doors, but on timelines and news feeds. And that's what makes this moment unforgettable. For fans, it's not just gossip. It's a reflection of how fragile love feels when the whole world is watching. One minute you're laughing with your fans, the next minute, your relationship is unraveling in real time. The same internet that once celebrated you as a couple now celebrates your split with hashtags and memes. So where does this leave them? For now, it feels final, like the last page of a chapter no one expected to end so soon. The signs are all there. The unfollow on social media, the cryptic posts that speak louder than direct words ever could, and most telling of all, the silence from Erin. Not just any silence, a deliberate, deafening kind. One that doesn't ask for explanation, because it is the explanation. This isn't just some quiet falling apart behind closed doors. No, this breakup feels public. Loud. Messy in its own subtle way. It's the kind of ending that doesn't need to be confirmed, because the silence is confirmation enough. But if there's one thing we've learned from love stories that live under the spotlight, it's this. Nothing is ever truly over until it is. Celebrity romances follow a different set of rules. They don't end quietly, and they rarely stay ended. Sometimes breakups stick, creating space for healing, growth, and eventually peace. Other times, they're temporary storms, intense but short-lived, that clear the air for a reunion. And sometimes, breakups aren't the end at all, but just a turning point toward even messier, more complicated chapters. Because love, especially the kind that blooms in public, doesn't always fade in a straight line. It lingers in the air. It clings to old photos, mutual followers, and unseen drafts of messages never sent. It waits in the space between what was and what could still be. Yet no matter what lies ahead, a reconciliation, a respectful silence, or something far less clean, one thing is clear. That night changed everything. And what's most striking is that it didn't happen with a fight. There were no shouting matches, no viral videos, no teary-eyed statements. Sometimes, it doesn't take an argument to end a story. Sometimes, all it takes is a pause, a decision, one simple action, one click point, one unfollow point, one moment of silence louder than anything else. And now, the world watches from the outside, piecing together meaning from every move or lack thereof. Fans speculate, headlines swirl, and everyone is asking the same question. Is this really the end of Teyana Taylor and Erin Pierre? Or is this just the calm before a much bigger storm? The beginning of a second act? The messy, unpredictable sequel that no one saw coming? Because the truth is, love stories, especially the ones that unfold under a spotlight, are rarely linear. They twist, turn, unravel, and sometimes come back together in ways no one expects. So while this chapter may be closing, that doesn't mean the story is over. Not yet. Maybe not ever.